If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's start this weekend off right. Yo, GMS family, what's going on? Happy Friday. It's the weekend, baby. Let's go. Let's start this shit off right. You know, we start out every show with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward. Hoping that you all pass it along as well. We keep that green mind state. Keep all that negative bullshit out the way. How y'all feeling, man? I hope everybody had a great week. It's Friday, man. The weekend's here. I hope y'all got some cool shit planned. Or if you don't, relax your loins. Sit back. You deserve it. You done worked hard. You done hustled hard. You done got to the money. You done achieved some goals. You done did something productive this week. Go ahead and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show today. Because you deserve it. GMS fam, the green room, how y'all feeling? I see you, Brimdog, King Lukey, Arius, Baby G, Glittery Bubbles, Sanaa, Black Hippie Ricky. He said, I'm in the tub. C-Mo. 1, 2, 3 kid. What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's turn this down. Let's turn this down now. Here we are, man. Friday, man. We got some shit to talk about, man. Some things that caught my eye this past week. And we got to get into it, man. Some lessons, man. I feel like, you know, we can talk about all the stuff going on in the culture, the controversial shit, the Kanyes and the Kims of the world and the DLs and all that shit. But before we do all that, man, I wouldn't be GMS. I wouldn't be me if I didn't try to have some type of gems dropped on the audience that takes the time out their day to come and watch this shit. I know I don't have a bunch of people to come through that are about fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all about learning some shit too. We can talk about the bullshit, we can analyze shit, we can break shit down. But when it comes to learning some shit or even just reinforcing some things in your mind that you've been thinking about already, I want to be able to display that here as well. So something that caught my eye was an interview with Steve Harvey. He was on the Earn Your Leisure podcast. They've had some huge names on their pod. And Steve was their most recent guest, and you know, some of the things he said kind of caught traction, you know what I'm saying? It kind of went viral. And here's the thing, man. I know that over the years, you know, people have had some things to say about Steve and, you know, how he moves or, you know, his business or anything like that. But when people are right and when they dropping gems, man, if you are a sane person, man, you'll take the message and skip the messenger. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who the messenger is. Now, if there's somebody out there who's a scrapist and a murderer and they trying to drop some gems on you, okay, cool. You should have listened to yourself. But somebody like Steve Harvey, it's like, if you don't like him, it's probably because you just don't like who he is. There's not really anything necessarily bad about the man that you can really pinpoint. And that's just in my opinion. Maybe other people know more about Steve Harvey. I don't really, follow Steve Harvey like that. But of course, me being in my generation, I've grown up on comedians like Steve Harvey and the kings of comedy, Cedric DL, Bernie Mac, you know what I'm saying? All these people. And I pay attention to how they move. And Steve, has been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's went from being rich to broke to, divorces to, being robbed, all types of shit. And I want this to be a lesson for people because a lot of people go through shit. A lot of people go through a lot of stuff on a daily basis that aren't celebrities and don't have the financial means like these people to just be financially free in certain aspects. But the mentality of it all is what I want people to pay attention to. I don't have no money like Steve Harvey. I don't know if anybody else in the chat has money like Steve Harvey, but I took something from this without having to relate to him to where he is today. I want to be able to encourage other people. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to break this down a little bit, man. We're going to spend the first part of today's show breaking this down and showing y'all certain parts of this interview and certain things that he said. One of the wildest things that was said on this was about him being robbed of $22 million. And I wanted to pinpoint that because it was very important for people to hear how this happens, because you take somebody that isn't used to shit, somebody that grew up broke, didn't have nothing, and then you put a bunch of money in their account and give them a lot of fame. They aren't used to how to handle their shit. All they know is, hey, put this person in place, put a financial person in place, get a lawyer, get this, get that. And they don't really try to pay too much attention about what's going on in their surroundings and shit. This was a good way for him to really break down the real about a lot of this shit, because what we see on the outside looking in isn't always what it seems. And I'm glad I appreciate when people in this position are this open, this transparent, and this genuine about the things that they go through. So first and foremost, we're going to start here, man. I think this is one of the most important parts of this interview is him breaking down the 5 core principles when it comes to business.
Over and over again. And I kept that relationship, whether it was a comedy club owner,
appreciate y'all. Hit that like button on the way in,
or a TV show. That was my philosophy.
So I want to get into this. I understand you have 5 core principles when it comes to considering business. Dream big, use your imagination, show gratitude, overcome fear.
Shout out to Earn Your Leisure, by the way.
Faith.
These guys are really great.
Can we go over each one? Dream big. Let's start with that one.
Everything starts with the dream. Nothing launches without the dream. That comes from your childhood, from anything. It's the dream. It's the core basis of success. See, the thing with me, man, is I don't really focus on the technical aspects of business because I'm not the technical guy. I focus on the mental aspect of business. I focus on the part that go on in here, because if you fix what goes on in here, you got a shot now. And technical ain't nothing if you ain't got it set up. So the dream is the core of everything. That dream.
Wait, hold up. Hurricane JW said, am I the only one that thinks Steve Harvey is a clone? He has a different head every Family Feud.
Man, it's biblical. Man without a dream or vision shall perish. That's about you. Education ain't even in the Bible. I ain't never read nothing about Harvard, Emory. I ain't never heard no Ivy League scriptures. All it talks about is that dream. So that's the core.
Yeah. Imagination.
Yeah. Now, that's critical because, see, what people don't understand is, man, this thing that you imagine is a peak. Albert Einstein had a quote. He said, imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. oh man, when I heard that, that tripped me out, because here's Albert Einstein setting it out, that imagination is everything, is the preview to life coming attraction. So everything that's in your imagination is God showing you a preview of a coming attraction that he has for you. See, so you can't, don't let nobody play your imagination off. Don't let nobody twist you about what's in your imagination. Don't let, oh, how you see that. They ain't supposed to see it. See, everybody not gonna see your imagination. You can quit telling it to them, because if God wanted them to see it, he'd have put it in their imagination, but he put it in yours. So imagination is as critical as the dream, because the imagination is just God showing you a preview of what he has for you. It's like when you go to a movie and you get your popcorn and you sit down. Before the movie start, what do they show you?
Preview.
They show you previews of what? A coming attraction. Have you ever seen a preview and then the movie ain't come out? Nah, bro. Once you see the preview, it's finna be a movie.
Now, like I said, pay attention to the words, to the message being spoken. Don't pay attention to Steve Harvey. Don't pay attention to Steve. All right? Pay attention to the message.
And that's how the imagination works in your life.
Pure ostrich
The
ass.
third one is very interesting to me. Show gratitude.
See, gratitude is one of the most overlooked and key principles to your success. If your goal is to be a millionaire and you start out making $20,000 a year, and then God gets you to 50.
Hit that like and share this, by the way.
But you mad because you ain't a millionaire. But hold up, man. Do you not remember that just a minute ago you didn't have but 20? So you got to show gratitude for the 50. Then somehow, by the grace of God, you get to 150. It's people making 150 who used to be dead broke, mad because they not a millionaire. Hold up, partner. Do you remember when you was just making the 50? Now you done triple that, and you got to understand that there's joy in the journey. So if you don't show the proper amount of gratitude, you're never gonna be happy. You're never gonna be content. And after a while, man, God gonna get tired of you. It's like if somebody come over your house and borrow a cup of sugar every day. Every day somebody come to your house and ask you for a cup of sugar, and you give it to them, and they walk away and don't ever say thank you. How many times can this cat come to your house and get this sugar without saying thank you to you before you as a human being go, yo, my man, you come here every day and I give you this cup of sugar. You ain't said thank you one time. Don't come by here no more. But through God's grace and mercy, he allowed us to keep coming back. But suppose you were grateful though. Maybe one time you go to God and ask for another 150 and he give you 500 because you didn't show gratitude. Maybe sometimes when the guy that kept coming by your house asking for the cup of sugar, if he would show gratitude, maybe you go, hey man, here go a 5-pound sack of sugar. That way you ain't got to come back tomorrow. But if you never show the gratitude, you never become the recipient of the grace. And the grace is what you need on top of that helps you get to the next level and take you place. My wife asked me the other day, because I just turned 65, right? I was talking to my wife and I said, baby, I was just kind of got a little throwed off a little bit, because even I'm human, you know, I got a little throwed off. I said, baby, I just turned 65 and I really was wanting a little bit more to be popped off by now. She said, wait a minute, hold up, Steve. Wait a minute, hold up. She said, wait a minute, let me ask you something. When you was 30, where did you see yourself at 65? I said, well, I ain't see this. She said, exactly. She said, so you can want all you want, but you need to go outside and just drive around and go get in some of your cars and see how you fly and just take a look around, and now I think you'll be all right. And I went on and sat down. Said, go sit down.
What about
Now, before we get to the other ones, before we get to the other principles, I want to pinpoint gratitude because I want it to be very, 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 very known about my intentions here when I do this shit. Of course, everybody that has a platform wants it to grow. They want it to become big. They want to, I trust me, I believe in that as well. But I believe in helping other people along the way and also showing, gratitude and being thankful for the opportunity to have a platform, period. To have anybody pay attention to anything that I do. I feel like the universe is such a real thing that everything, all the energy you put out to it, it all comes back to you. And with that type of message, I move accordingly in my life. And I want to pass that along to y'all as well. But let's listen to the last two right here.
Overcoming fear.
Well,
Overcoming fear. This is huge.
Fear is the number one cause of people not being successful, because the average person freezes themselves with fear and they never try. You know, it's like people are afraid to fail. Dog, that's the process. I don't care who you talk to. I've watched y'all's interviews, man. Y'all done talk to some bad people. I don't care who you, I was listening to Rick Ross, man. That boy cold. You know, you sit up and listen to Ross, man, and you go, this a hood dude. He real simple. If you don't understand Ross, it's because you don't want to.
Right.
He just basic dude. But if you are afraid, fear, it freezes you. And people are afraid to fail. Failure is a part of the process.
Yep.
You cannot get where you're going without failing. Partner, you don't learn nothing winning. Michael Jordan took 900 some game winning shots. He only made 140 some of them. Yeah. They don't write about the 700 some misses. But you see, he on Wheatie boxes because of the 146 he made. Nobody gives a damn that he has failed 3/4 of the time. He was willing to take that game-winning shot and hoping to make it. Now, he'd have made 146. So he got a lot of rings on his fingers because he lost the fear of failure. And failure, man, is a part of the process. So you got to lose the fear of failing, man. It's just a part of it. It's the deal.
The last.
Before the last one, I just want to say, if you have any fear in your heart, the best way to get rid of that is to attack that fear. Whatever it is, you attack that fear. You never let nothing pull you out of your comfort zone. You never let anything scare you out of doing anything you want to do. You attack that fear. It's the only way to get past it. It's the only way to get past it. You gotta confront that shit.
That's one. Having faith.
Having faith
Well,
is the last
that's
one.
the ultimate. See, I was raised cool, man, because my father didn't go to church ever. My father was a hoodlum. He was a hard-working man, but my father was a hoodlum. He wasn't a gangster. My father was a hoodlum. He had some illegal activities with Don King in Cleveland. You know, when I see Don King, man, we just hug. Don King went to jail for manslaughter. Yeah. My father knew this dude. My father ran numbers with Don King in Cleveland. Because in the wintertime, he worked construction, so he wasn't working. So he was a number runner in Cleveland. So my first job when I was 10 years old was a paper route. And my job was not to just deliver the papers, but I had to go to everybody's house off my bike and remember where they put their numbers. Some people would put their numbers up under the fender of their car. Some people would tape it under their stairway, under their steps. Rats and stuff under there. Get up there and get their paper. Some people would put it behind their mailbox. Some people would hand it to you every morning. And my father was a hoodlum. My mother was saved. She was a Christian. My mother took her to church. That combination of his doing whatever he had to do to survive for his family, measured with my mother's teaching us about God and prayer and faith and scriptures, has been the total cornerstone of who I am. My faith, see, faith is the belief in things that you cannot see. Without that, how you make it? Because I'm finna ask God for something that I don't see no how, no way I can get it. But I got the faith that one day I'll have it. That's cold, man. That's a cold piece to lock into your mind. And people that don't have faith, that don't have a spiritual background, I feel sorry for them, man, because it's finna be way harder. Way harder, because too much gonna happen to you that's gonna require some God. Now, you can think it don't. Well, I don't really believe in God. Okay, you ain't gotta be, he's still there. You know, I hear people all the time, I don't believe in heaven. Yeah, that's cool. Well, it's still gonna be one. One dude told me, he said, well, hey man, suppose you get there and you find out it ain't no heaven. Well, then I lived the best life I could, ain't no heaven. You got a bigger problem if you think it ain't one day and it is. Because now you done what you wanted to do and now you ain't going. So faith, man, all those 5 pillars are the cornerstone of it.
So, I mean, there's a...
So those are his 5 pillars. What up, Will? Those are his 5 pillars of success. I really do appreciate the mind behind that, because entangled in all the spiritual aspects of it, he is speaking on some real shit when it comes to, you know, basically speaking things into existence. And that's what I talk about. Speaking things into existence, regardless if you have faith in anything or not. Shout out my nigga Zen Master, my atheist brother. Speaking things into existence, man, your words have power. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in that. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to sit there and encourage ourselves. And that's one thing is people be waiting for validation from other people. As long as you telling yourself that you are great at what you do, you be your biggest fan, you be the one to support yourself first, that shit's going to fall in line. When people see that you believe in yourself, they believe in you. And I wholeheartedly believe in that. Now, let's get into this part right here, man. This is when shit gets a little bit more serious. He talks about how he lost everything twice and how the divorce took everything from him when he got divorced to his other wife in 2005. Let's see. This is on. Wait, hold on. All right. Just make sure I get that timestamp right. You know what I'm saying? This is a very interesting story, man. Listen to this.
But in there, in between there, the homelessness, the losing everything I ever earned, I ever had twice. I've lost everything twice. I lost it all when I was homeless. I lost it all again in 2005. I was zeroed out. In 2005, I had $1,700 left. Kings of Comedy, all that.
2005?
Divorce.
Oh.
Yeah. Her lawyer was outstanding.
Describe this shit funny as hell. Shout out to Brielle for the 20. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for the love. I appreciate everybody who supports the GMS show. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, follow me on my socials, hit the Cash App, do everything you need to do. Support the GMS show. Appreciate you. What up, I Lacey? Now, this takes a big now that he's in a better place in life, I know he can speak about this more openly and be more transparent about it. He's talking about how great his ex-wife lawyer was because he got cleaned out. Listen to this, man.
Well, I was in court clapping for him. Yeah. He was so cold. I was in the courtroom going. Next thing I knew, I ain't had nothing. This dude was gangster, man. You know, and then I had some people had stole some stuff from me, an accountant, and all types of stuff happened. I lost everything. But in those dark moments was when I learned, okay, faith is belief in things that you cannot see. I don't know how I'm gonna rise up again, but I gotta believe that I am. And then you gotta keep that imagination that I saw since I was 10, I was gonna be on TV. So that imagination, I had to keep relying on that because that's all I had, you understand? And then the dream was to get on TV, and I had to keep that in my head, even through the darkest moments. Because see, if you master the mental aspect of it, when the stuff is happening, that comes into play. You remember all the scriptures my mama taught me. Today is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. And she say that to me every day I went out of school. I was so tired of hearing that. But man, do you know how cold that thing stuck with me? That today is the day he made. And since I had to learn something in adversity, this is what I learned. I often ask people, I said, how many of you all have ever had a bad day? And the audience raised their hand. How many of you all have had days where you felt like you wasn't gonna make it? And everybody raised their hand. How many of y'all have had days where you thought you just didn't know what you was gonna do? Everybody raises their hand. I said, now let me tell you something about yourself. Your track record for surviving hard days, days you wasn't gonna make it, thought you wasn't gonna make it, and insurmountable days, your track record for surviving those days is 100%.
Now that's big right there. Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that. Because I'm the type of person that likes to wake up and try to be in a good mood for the most part. I don't like to wake up mad or sad, irritated, you know, and sometimes you can't help that. You can't. Your emotions are your emotions. But even if you do wake up and you feel some type of way, I try to find a way to make make this shit better, make the day better. Don't try to start your day out wrong, man. And like I said, some people can't help it. Your emotions are your emotions, but the practice of it all, to sit here and practice the ability to hold on to something positive and to be in and to really encourage yourself to, hey man, I woke up this morning, I'm alive, I'm breathing. This is the right way. This is how it's supposed to be. You all are right now are breathing, being able to type. You're coherent. A lot of think about this. Some people don't even have the ability to type, to speak, to form sentences. Some people are fucking vegetables right now. Be glad that you can get up, you can walk around. You're an able-bodied person. Those are things, the simplest things in life that you take for granted, that you can lose at any moment. You have to think about that shit. Wake up in the morning, realize that I'm walking around and I'm good. My arms are working, my legs are working. I can breathe right. I can be able to do this show. Like, niggas can be able to work, make money. These are things that a lot of us take for granted because it's a part of everyday life, but we let a lot of things hinder us from being just simply happy during the day. Now, I have to bring this part up too, man, before we get to this last segment that I want to bring up, which is the part where he was robbed for $22 million by his accountant, who ended up passing away. It's a crazy story, man. When you really think about it, it's something that you could see on Forensic Files or some shit like that. But before we get there, he brought up a story, and it reminded me of a story that Bernie Mac once told back in the day. He brought up the fact that when he started to really get in the rooms with these television, people and these movie people, they were bringing up his speech and how he talked and how people understood him. And how if he changed the way he talked, that he can make so much more money, he can have so many more opportunities, and all this type of shit. And he's like, how in the fuck, what? Change how I talk? I've been making money for years, and I've been building my name for years, just how I talk. And y'all want me to change up my vocabulary or want me to talk more correct or proper, so to speak. This nigga from the country, what you expect him to talk like? And it reminded me of that Bernie Mac story, because the same thing happened to him when he was when he was going around trying to pitch himself as an actor and trying to go around pitch TV shows and shit. They were worried about people not understanding him, not knowing that there is a big demographic of people that do understand and also relate to him, which is why the Bernie Mac show did so incredible. See, these motherfuckers don't know what they talking about. You get in the room with people who are uncultured swines, and they try to sit there and tell you about what they think they know about what people want when it comes to a certain demographic. They want to appeal to a certain type of people, and if they don't appeal to a certain type of people, they want to try to make people adapt to their shit. So stick to who you are, basically, is what I'm saying. Stick to who you are. Don't let nobody change what you're doing because they are uncomfortable with who they are. Now, let's get to this shit, man. Steve Harvey is going to talk about, he's going to go more in depth about the things that he went through financially and the times that he got robbed for $22 million over a span of seven years. When he breaks this down, I want you guys to really understand what happened in this situation. Listen to this.
Black ass bastard. She packed that shit up and walked out of there. And I tell that to people all the time, man.
Said bye, Felicia.
Because I'm not, dog. I ain't finna do that. I'm not changing.
So when did it actually? Because you were saying you had financial hardship, 2005, and you still was making some mistakes, but we're in your estate now, so obviously things changed dramatically. Changed dramatically. So what was the turning point? What was the turning point from, making mistakes to actually going on a skyrocket?
I know, man, that this gonna sound like cliche-ish and corny, but a woman was the difference maker in my life.
Hold on, let me turn the let me turn the video off for a second.
When I married Marjorie, man,
2007,
2007 we got married. It changed the game for me. Because for the first time in my life, I was at peace because she made me good with who I was. She kept telling me, you're a major TV star. Don't believe this here. Steve, you look good. You can do this. You're talented. You're the best. And I had a peaceful home. I had never had a peaceful home life before, man. I was coming home. I wasn't sitting in the car looking at the door for 3 hours, scared to go in there. You probably might have been in something like that before.
No.
I ain't saying,
Fortunately enough.
well, fortunately, no, but you never know.
Faith, man.
Yeah, faith. Yeah, I know. But you're going to sit in that driveway, even if you're happy. If you piss her off, you're going to go sit in that car, dog. Because at least I can lock these doors and roll these windows up in this car. But if I sit in this house, I'm here. So, I'm happy about that. But I was in a horrible situation. And this woman came along and gave me peace. Peace is priceless, man. And I was able to think clearly for the first time. And so I was able to start seeing stuff. Now I got in a huge tax situation in 2008 because my divorce was in 2005.
Here we go.
And my accountant had gotten in cahoots, and next thing you know, my accountant died, and a girl that worked for him called my lawyer and said, we have a problem. She had found on the floor all my tax forms for 7 years, signed and with the checks stapled to them. So I'm thinking, I done signed and I done stapled the checks. Well, they were cashing the checks, keeping the money, and not turning in the tax form.
So that's when we interviewed Fat Joe.
Listen to this, man. Please pay attention. This man, right? Let me just before he goes into detail, because I know it sounds crazy, but you have to listen to this. His accountant died, and the assistant to his accountant went, I guess, to his office and found several pieces of mail with checks stapled to them, signed by Steve Harvey to the IRS, on his floor in his office or wherever she found it. And what happened was the accountant was taking these checks and then taking the money out of Steve's account because the accountant had access to Steve's account. So the accountant was able to take this money out of Steve's account that matched up with the checks that had the exact amount that paid the IRS, and did this for 7 years. And it totaled up to $22 million. And the only reason that this happened was because Steve did not pay attention to his money. He didn't pay attention to where this was going. He didn't even pay attention to whether or not these shits were actually going to the government. Once this person found out they can do it the first time, and the second time and the third time, they're like, oh shit, this is nice. Then all of a sudden, shit hit the fan. Let's finish hearing this, man.
Similar
Listen
situation. He went to jail for that.
Cooking the books.
Tax evasion. So your accountant,
Apparently
you
it happened to Fat Joe too.
Oh, so you didn't know who the check was being made out to?
Oh, to the government.
So how did they cash it?
Well, they didn't cash it. They took the money out of the account that matched the exact, because I wasn't watching it
So
like
you could
that.
just see
I just
100,000,
600,000
Yeah, you looking at it, I paid
deducted.
it. Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's the check. Little did I know, it was some people taking the money out
For 7 years?
for 7 years.
How much money did that?
I ended up owing $22 million.
Wow.
22 million with the penalties.
Make you want to
now,
kill a
listen
nigga.
to me, man. Me and my wife in 2008, I
Hold
get
the
the
fuck up.
call.
Hold on. Imagine that. What I need to know from the chat right now, everybody right now. Imagine you are working your ass off day in, day out, making money, hitting these venues, doing these arenas, doing these shows, doing these movies, just blood, sweat, and tears, just working for every dollar you have. And then you find out over the past 7 years, it's been getting stolen from you after you were trying to do the right thing. And now you have to listen to what happened to him after this, man, because it's not over, man. He is going to explain what happened to him after all this shit happened. Listen.
And the way I found out was,
shit's crazy, man.
My lawyer called me and said, hey, man, we got a problem. You haven't paid taxes in 7 years. I said, man, what are you talking about? I paid taxes. I've been writing the checks and all this here. Oh, man. He said, this woman found your taxes in your accountant's office on the floor. Every tax check I had written and every was stapled together for 7 years, quarterly taxes, all of it. So he said, man, that's tax evasion. You can go to prison. And I said, what we gonna do? So he said, hold on, man, let me get some lawyers. So he called up some tax accountants out of Chicago. These boys was the best. And they set me down and they said, man, we got a major problem. He said, I got a friend working at the IRS. Let me take the first year. We took the first year and we sent it in. And he said, man, well, this is an old tax return. He said, man, we got a problem. He got more, but he didn't know it. And so we need a tax payment plan. So the tax payment plan was so astronomical that it was no way I could pay this.
And you know what's fucked up? The accountant died. So there was nothing he could do to the accountant, or the accountant couldn't be held accountable, pun intended. The accountant couldn't be held accountable. The nigga died. So what could he do? Steve, he inherited. This is why I know that this is something that actually happened, because the dude died. So do you think Steve would have did all this just for dude to die and be like, yeah, I'm going to take the burden of this? Hell no. Nah. But he had to take the burden of it. Listen to what he had to do to bounce back from this shit.
So
and the government, let me just pinpoint the government and how they don't give a damn about none of that. Listen, just pay attention.
Because if you miss one payment, we come and seize all your assets and you go into jail. That was the deal. So the way I found out I was in real bad trouble was my accountants, my former manager, lawyer, got on a conference call to discuss it. But they sent out an email with the conference call number to my assistant. But it wasn't supposed to go to me. She inadvertently gave it to me. I wasn't even supposed to be on the call. So when I logged in, they were already talking and I just didn't announce myself. And I heard them say, nobody can live under this amount of stress. There's no way he can pay the back taxes, pay his current taxes, and his living expenses. And I heard a guy on the phone say, what are we gonna do when he goes to jail? And I hung the phone up, I went upstairs, I said Marjorie down, I said, Marjorie, we got a problem.
Damn.
When I explained it to her, Marjorie started crying. She sat down and cried. My wife cried for 2 straight days. She said, Steve, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna go to work. I took every comedy gig in this country. I signed every contract. I went to work, man. I worked every single Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I went to every venue, the Verizon, Staples Center, MCI, Phillips. I sold out to Fox. I went everywhere. I stayed on the radio, man. I'm coming, sold out. I never missed a payment. And for 4 years in a row, I was sending $650,000 a month.
chest. My chest. Woo. Woo. I can't listen to that without having heart palpitations. This man said he had to send $650,000 a month to the IRS for 4 years straight. The average everyday person struggles with paying the average rent in America. Middle class, whatever. Sick, sick. You can't spell six without sick. That would have made me sick.
The government, plus I had to pay my current taxes.
new taxes.
I couldn't get behind on nothing, and I was living. So I was credit cards, running them up, paying them off. And finally, man, in 2012.
You got me thinking now. This is the pay-per-view event?
Well, it was coming to that.
Okay.
Two things happened.
Okay.
2012,
Lord Jesus.
I sold
What up, J-Mont?
49% of my radio company to iHeart. I got a check, man. I got me a check. And then, so I paid the government completely off to zero. And that was the first time, man, I could breathe. And then the pay-per-view, I said, let me get out of stand-up, because my wife said, Steve, you finna be a major TV star. You're gonna have to stop telling the jokes you telling, because you're gonna ruin your career. Because she saw the political correctness turning. And so she said, Steve, you can stop if you want to. I said, baby, I can't ever stop telling jokes. It's who I am. She said, well, okay, but you gotta watch what you say. And all of my TV shows are sponsor-driven, the radio is sponsorship-driven. I said, man, let me get out of this because I need time to go do more TV.
Yes, $7.2 million a year for 4 years. That adds up to $22 million. They didn't give him no slack, no nothing. Think about that. He had to make $7 million per year. Do you know how people would go crazy fucking their mind up trying to figure out how to make $7 million a year? That's, man.
And so I did one last
Golly.
comedy show, but I did it on pay-per-view.
I remember
And
this
little
one.
did I know, for $8, you could watch my last round. I had no idea how many people was gonna tune in for that. I made a lot of money. It was the biggest single paycheck
Facts, reality.
I ever made. And next thing you know, I was back.
Hey, Tyler, about that house.
Hey, I had me some money, man. I was back.
Yeah.
I had a nice nut sitting over there. I said, I'm back, man. And then things, and after that, man, it was all because my wife had this vision for me and she could see it, and that was the turnaround.
But so the account, you say he died? Mm-hmm. So that you couldn't sue his estate? No, there was no course of action that could be taken.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
So because like the money that, it's the same situation with Fat Joe.
It is.
It's crazy. So you lost the money that he took, but then you had to pay that money in taxes and then penalty. So it's like a double-edged sword.
It's crazy, man. It's nothing but the grace of God that I didn't go to jail.
How often? Because it's like, it's so crazy that this story, because it's like Fat Joe, yourself, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, like this happens a lot. Like, what would you advise for people that, as a learning experience, like just to always watch your accounts a little bit closer?
Don't let nobody sign your check. Don't let nobody have access to your money. Even if it's your wife,
Y'all niggas funny, man.
you still got to watch it yourself.
Speak on it.
Cause little did I know, man, I wasn't moving the money. Yeah. The only other person that could move the money had access to the account. So when you withdrawing the money out, like let's say tax was $600,000 and you take exactly $600,000 out. I'm thinking that's the the check cleared.
Oh.
It made they never
okay.
the exact amount. I don't care if it was 1.2 million,
Hey, shout out
32
Jazz
cent,
Bo.
1.232 cent got took out exactly. So I'm thinking, I'm just looking at real going down the sheet, not realizing that check ain't cleared. And that's what happened, man. I got burnt. And that happened for 7 years of money, man.
That's a lot.
7 years, man. I had to highlight that shit because I wouldn't know what I would do in that situation, man. You got to understand, man. You built different. People are built different out here. It's a testament to who you are mentally, you know what I'm saying, and physically, because it's not easy just to go and tour all over the fucking place and throw yourself in front of every fucking venue and do every fucking thing possible, especially at his age. Like, Steve is 65 years old. So he was up there when he was doing all this shit. It took a lot of hustle, man. So the thing is, like I said, man, the message behind all that, man, is really, really, really just believe in yourself for one. Keep track of everything that you do, finances, the people around you. Make sure you got a solid team of people you trust, really trust, and keep that shit tight. Find you, somebody who really believes in you. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you do, if you really, if you want a relationship, find somebody who truly believes in you. That's a good motivation right there to help you continue to be who you are. Sometimes you need that extra pick me up. You can be as confident as you are or you want to be. Sometimes that extra motivation, that extra pick me up will help, man. And it's always good to have somebody in your corner like that. But just wanted to drop those jewels on y'all, man. GMS fam, this is what we do, man. I wanna be able to bring some shit to y'all and have y'all really hear some real good gems and jewels that are dropped from certain people in the culture and people that we have watched over the years, or even from myself. You know what I'm saying? Just certain things I wanna highlight on the show. Now, let's get to the bullshit. A little bit of the bullshit. I heard yesterday, man, and it tripped me out because it was something that I don't think people reacted to accordingly if it was not the situation it was. So everybody knows the Kanye, Kim, Pete situation, whatever. Everybody's like, oh, Kanye is crazy. He's stalking her. He's being abusive and all types of shit. But I don't seem to recall, Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian being together for a long time. And what was revealed to the public yesterday was that this dude got not only a tattoo, but a brand on him. A brand. Do you know what a brand is? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? You know the shit where they put that shit, they put the torch on it. They put the torch on the metal and then they brand a fucking bull or some shit. And then they brand it with a number or a letter or some odd shit. Yeah, he got one of those. He had somebody put Kim's name on metal wire, torch that shit, and then branded his chest with Kim's name. I shit you not. Kim spoke about this on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I was quite amazed. He also, I guess, got a few tattoos to commemorate Kim. Like, oh, my girlfriend is a lawyer on his, I don't know where he got it. But this is that who would do this type of shit? First of all, this early on. Second of all, in the situation you're in, man, you know what? I'm tired of trying to talk about or try to understand what the fuck be going on in Hollywood. Hollyweird is exactly what it is, man. And these motherfuckers be falling in love with everybody. Imagine branding Kim Kardashian's name on you because you with her right now. Because you with her right now, currently. Imagine that. Steve, hey man, Skeet is smoking that good shit right now, apparently. Also, Britteny Griner, man, hold on, let me read this off to y'all. Let me make sure I get it right, because the story has been unfolding with Britteny Griner and her situation. We got to read this off, bro. Hold on, let me see. This should be getting more attention. Britteny Griner, how can a U.S. basketball star just vanish? What are they saying about how long they're keeping her? Oh, yes, that's right. They're keeping her now. They decided to keep her detained, and she will be in a Russian jail until May 19th. And it's not only her just staying in a Russian jail till May 19th. That's how long she has to wait in there until they actually bring up her charges or bring up her case or her to see a judge, because she's facing up to 10 years for her crimes. That's crazy. Regardless of how you feel about what the situation is, that's incredibly insane. She was denied counselor access, basically on some like hostage shit. But this is a different country, man. They do shit differently. And the last thing I want to do is get locked up in another country. I don't understand how the hell she thought it was a good idea to bring this shit over there. But man, Brittany, I'm hoping that you make it out this situation. This is not a laughing matter. I can't believe that it's such a random instance, man. Like, who does this? Who does this? I am in no way, shape, or form, man. I would be paranoid to go from state to state in my own country with some shit, let alone be in another country. Especially a country that doesn't only hate me for what I look like, but hate me for my sexuality. If she identifies as a queer woman, they hate the LGBTQ motherfuckers over there. What up, Binky? So if all the odds are stacked against me, why the fuck would I do something to add more odds? Just throw more odds in there. Here, let me throw some more odds in the pot. Hey, man, it's not that serious, Brittany. It wasn't that serious to bring that shit. I don't know what you had it for. I don't know what your reasoning. I don't know if you thought that you needed it, but this is exactly where it got you. And if this ain't something to make you stop doing some shit, I don't know what is. Because I can't imagine what a jail is like over there in Russia. I only seen some shit on Netflix. That don't do it justice. That don't do it justice at all. So I'm hoping she gets out of that. There was also some shit Mace said about Diddy. I want y'all to hear this shit, man, because it seems like more people that were involved with Diddy and involved with Bad Boy have been coming out to say things about him. Oh, shit, he dropped the track. I can't play that. But let's hear what Mace had to say. I want to hear the clip of what Mace had to say. I don't want to hear the song. I don't want to hear Mace rapping and
pain other people.
There we go.
I see the hurt and the pains of other people on Bad Boy. That motivates me to say something, so I don't be deemed as a person who just made a bunch of money and turned a blind eye. I'm not going to be like the rest of the people around Puff that don't tell him he's wrong. I'm not going to be like the yes men around him that see him ruining people's lives and never tell him he's wrong. More people on here will tell me I'm wrong, but won't say anything to him. They'll judge my beliefs, they'll judge my Christianity, and they'll say nothing to Puff. They'll say nothing about is a concert for Biggie and Biggie's own daughter couldn't get in. They'll say nothing about that.
Damn.
But all of his friends got 50 and 60 tickets. We're done with your games. When I see the hurt and
that it seems like more and more every year people keep bringing up things about Diddy. And Diddy just continues to spend money and live his life and try to, bring up these inspirational quotes and shit. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of Diddy no more, man. I don't know what to think of Diddy no more. He's a mogul in our culture, But now he is starting to have way too many stains put on his name by the people he used to be involved with. And I'm telling you, man, this is another thing, man. When you do certain things in this industry, you got to make sure you do right by people. Got to make sure you do right by people. When you do right by people, you ain't got to worry about people coming back to say some shit about you later on in life. Because if they did, you know it's a lie. You know it ain't nothing but bullshit. You know it ain't nothing but envy and fuck shit. But if you do people wrong, it will come back to you because the money will keep people stagnant for a while. That's what people forget. The money will keep people stagnant. Now, that's a testament to who that person is who's making that money. Because if you letting money keep you quiet and have you doing shit that you wouldn't normally do, wink, wink, that's a testament to your character. So when you come back later on and start talking about somebody and how wrong they did you, you should have been thinking about that in the moment when it was happening to you and not let the money and the fame overshadow the wrongdoings that was happening. You have to play a part in that. You have to take some blame in that, Mace. You went from Mace to Mason Betha, back to Mace. Now you in between somewhere that you don't even know. So, I mean, figure out whether you want to be a pastor or not, my G. And also, Diddy, figure out your wrongdoings, my nigga. That shit is ridiculous. And last but not least, I want y'all to hear this, man. Because I think this was something important to point out as well. Michael Beasley, former NBA player Michael Beasley, recently was on the Athletes podcast, I forgot what podcast it is, but shout out to those fellas. He opened up about mental health when it comes to athletes and certain things that people tend to overlook because social media tends to play the we give a shit role only when it benefits them. But people on the internet don't give a damn. What up, DC The Truth? I see you, bro. And they really don't give a damn until something actually happens to you. And it's a broken record because people say this a lot. But I need y'all to hear a specific moment when he was talking about some things that he goes through, and also pinpoint other things that other people go through.
Everybody
Pivot.
Just sit
There we go. Pivot.
Laugh. Like Antoine Walker go through whatever he go through. Motherfuckers just sit there and make jokes. Allen Iverson was a fucking joke for a while until everybody found out that wasn't true. He turned. It's like, bro, no, bro. Being black is so fake right now. It's like motherfuckers only care when it's time for somebody to die and the cameras to show. It's like, bro, motherfuckers is out here showing every day that they need help. It's in the music, and we only listen to it till these die. It's like, bro, everybody out here need help, and everybody walking around this motherfucker like they got it all together.
I'll be the first.
Everybody walking, and then the second time, like, bro, Dwight Howard cried on TV, right? They called the nigga soft. What the fuck he was going through on the inside? He had to fucking hold on to where he fucking cried in front of 20 million people. How about somebody ask that question? You dig what I'm saying?
You're right.
It's just so much that motherfuckers go through, and it's like, bro, they like niggas. It's on Front Street. It's just like until a motherfucker break down or die, it's like, it makes sense now.
I could tell he going through a lot. I could tell he dealing with a lot. For real.
Like, what a nigga gotta be in Delonte West shoes to get help?
It's crazy.
Right?
And that's Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban reached out to him.
And no disrespect to Delonte West, and no disrespect to nobody involved in
That's
this
a perfect question.
like that.
No, it makes sense.
But it's like, what does it take to do the right thing, right? Imagine somebody getting shot right there. What's the first thing you gonna yell? Somebody get him some help. We all eating good.
True.
Somebody ain't got no food. Somebody get him some food, right? Just a little bit of your plate, Somebody ain't got no money over. Yo, somebody get him some money. It's the same thing. Like how many different ways do a person gotta get shot metaphorically for help to be? You dig what I'm saying? It's like my whole life I asked for help. Help from my favorite athletes, from my favorite celebrities, from my favorite people in the world. Everybody, and it's like everybody just like either call me crazy or just, you know, I don't want to get into personal. At this point,
now that's one thing. Beasley used to play for us, man. Beasley used to play for the Timberwolves, and I remember when he played for us, he got caught on the highway with some weed under his seat. I think it was like a couple ounces or some shit like that. And it's crazy now because of the leniency now in the league when it comes to marijuana. So it's like, think about it, they probably put him through the ringer with that shit only to inevitably come to the point where they don't even test for it no more in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was penalties. He had to pay for that shit. You know what I'm saying? He really had to pay for that shit. Now, here's one more part that I want y'all to hear. This is him explaining how people stole from him and different things that happened to him in his life.
I'm talking about my own mother stole. Remember, RP, but my own mother stole from me. You feel me? Like I had to wake up one day in the league, one day in the summertime, and find out everybody was stealing from me down. Everybody from my financial advisor, from my mom, to everybody in my fucking family, to everybody was, you dig what I'm saying? To the point where
getting the cut.
To the point where I was faced with two evils. It's like, okay, do I let this go on and not tell them because this is my family? Or do I cut them off and don't have no family?
What was your decision?
At first, I tried to explain to them, but you can't explain $1 million problems to somebody ain't never seen $10 before.
That's profound. You can't explain $1 million problems to somebody that ain't never had.
I've been trying to find good people for so long. I'm tired, bro.
I would say this. It's a 100%, bro. It's so okay to be tired, though.
I got, you know what I'm saying?
You ain't got nothing left. You ain't got nothing left to give
I'll tell you this, bro. I'll be it. Like, whatever you need, dog. Like, you just want to talk. Like, I for sure can't hoop with you. I'll go out there and pass that hoe. Like, what we're saying is, bro, like, we want to be those people. Bringing you here wasn't about this. I wanted to talk basketball and hoops. But, dog, folks love you, dog. Nobody want to see you go through this. I think the thing is, man, like, so many times as black men, we are asked because of talent to carry everybody. We are not made to carry everybody. Black women are asked to carry everybody. They are not made to carry everybody. Dog, it takes a fucking village, bro. And at some point, you gotta have somebody who don't need shit from you, who don't want shit from you, who want to see you win, man. Like, we don't do this for us. Yeah, like you want to build these things, but it's about these conversations. It's about bringing people on here and letting them tell their story. When Freddie said, man, you could tell your narrative, tell that shit and I'll preach it too.
That's powerful right there, man. I think the most powerful part about that whole thing is the fact that you have a group of black men sitting there saying, hey, I'll be there for you. It's something that we don't have a lot of, you know, to begin with. We need more of that. And I wanted to be able to highlight that type of shit today on the GMS show on this Friday. Now, y'all know it's Friday. Last week, my nigga AP was way too schmizzed to do the 3G show. But the 3G's podcast is coming back tonight, 8 o'clock. So make sure you guys go over there at 8 o'clock tonight, PM sharp Central Time. And make sure you catch the 3G show. You don't want to miss it. He's going to talk about some shit. AP, they almost got AP out there in Punta Cana. Y'all got to hear the story, man. It was crazy. One more thing, man. I was going to do this. I was going to auction this off. I was going to auction off this academic shirt for $1. But I think I'm gonna do that. It says academics is the police on the back. And it has academics as a Teletubby. I was gonna auction that off today for $1, but I'm gonna wait on that. I think I'm gonna make a whole event for that. I think I'm gonna do a whole auction event. But put a GMS in the comments, man. Right now is your time to comment if you have not participated in the chat. I'm about to shout out everybody. Put a GMS in the chat right now. Make sure you hit the like on the way out. Comment on this video. Hey, I don't see y'all doing that, man. If you really fuck with the GMS show, I'm going to need y'all to leave a comment under this video after it's over, all right? If you really fuck with me, if you really want to support this channel and see us flourish out this motherfucker, comment as well as like on the video after we go live. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. I go live on my Instagram frequently. You don't want to miss that. Hit the cash out today if you are feeling generous. Shout out to Brielle for the 20 on the super chat. I appreciate everybody that supports the GMS show. Much love. Shout out to Trey 979, Arius, Baby G, IVR in the building. I Lacey, Binky Bianca, Black Hippie Ricky. See if I can get Freddie. If they bring the tour to Minnesota, man. If Freddie Gibbs bring the tour to Minnesota, I'm gonna see if I can get him to sign this shit. North Carolina in this bitch. I see you, Benjamin. John Maximus Vale in the building. What up, I Lacey? DC the truth. Glad to see you out here, brother. You've been working hard, man. Keep working hard, black man. Follow those links that my guy JR is posting as well, man. IG, Twitch. We do Club GMS tomorrow night. That's what y'all really need to pull up to. We trying to make my Twitch blow up doing Club GMS, man. I spin records every Saturday night, 7 p.m., and it's lit every night. I'm talking about the music is amazing. Anybody that has ever been to Club GMS, you already know. We trying to get more of y'all over there to see what we really do. Because it's more than just this YouTube shit. You know, a lot of people can't say the same. You know, a lot of people are stuck to this shit. Oh, we got more ways than one, baby. Shout out to Dip Levine. JR Miller, Trauma in the building. I appreciate everybody so much. Like I said, man, if you really want to support the GMS show, leave a comment after this shit goes live. After the live is done. Show your support, man. Hit that like on the way out. I appreciate y'all so much. GMS fam, the green room. Much love, baby. We out. What up, Sean Jail?